Hello, everyone. Welcome to another race in the Link to the Past Randomizer Spoiler Log Tournament. This is one of the first races in Week 2. Both our runners are currently 0-1, and one of them, at least, is going to be able to switch their fortunes around with a W here. This is Nobly versus Synack. I am Hammer Bro in the booth, and I am joined by Ricky of Kokery. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this match. Getting this week started up.
Yep, it is a blast. It's always fun to calm these, especially because they're over pretty quickly. So while we have just a moment here, I'm going to go ahead and go over the spoiler log. Used to it. The runners have 15 minutes to go over the spoiler log, which, as you can see by Synack's timer, is just about up. And there we go. So they got 15 minutes to plan their route, and then they get to go wherever they want and run through things as quickly as they can. So you are going to see a bunch of chests skipped. It's because the runners know where everything is.
And Synack seems to be off to a start. Starting Link's house, got the rupees, and then saving quit to the sanctuary to get bombs.
All right, 3 bombs, not bad. Those are the 2 big things that you need for the beginning of the prologue. Looks like Nobly is going for the 50-50 drops, and thus far is 0 for 2.
Yes, 100% not.
Okay, we're up to 25%. I guess in that direction. Go 2 for 2 here. There's 1. Nope. Okay, well, never mind.
All right. Oh, and he's going to give it a 4th try. Meanwhile, Synack is heading over to Eastern area.
Hey, there it is. We got a double drop. Sorry.
Ooh, and a full magic refill. That's nice.
Yep, now we can use the power-up magic bombs. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't exist. And currently, Nobly trying to get some drops from the guards, but they are not having it today.
Synack gets the power glove in Saha's closet,
along with 20 more rupees and a piece of heart. Meanwhile, Nobly gonna go do a little more standard route that we usually see a rando start with. Gonna smack a guard with a sign, and potentially do a tree pull here. If not, he'll just head straight to the back, and that's what we're doing.
Synack taking that glove straight to the back of Escape, it looks like, while Nobly is doing the Uncle passage to get the other glove.
So we have 2 old men buy gloves today.
And back of Escape has our first sword.
Oh, nice bomb drop.
That's why he was going for the soldiers. I was not understanding why he was doing that.
Well, I don't think they tell you the prize packs, unless I'm mistaken. So
I know it doesn't tell you the prize packs in the spoiler log. It only tells you the tree pulls and bush crabs. So that was a great read from Nobly, getting the full magic drop on the one soldier and realizing, aha, and going for it.
nice bomb strats there, and a wonderful 5 rupees. Alright, so meanwhile, it looks like Synack is going to be following Nobly into the escape sequence here. Gonna be a little bit easier since Synack does have that pointy bit.
Right. But Nobly taking care of the guards with bombs, no problem. Gets the hammer in the boomerang chest.
Yep, well, never mind not having a sword there. Nobly doesn't really need it. Alright, looks like they're switching places here. Nobly going to go ahead and do the backup escape, presumably for that sword.
All the runners need for Dark Road access is the Moon Pearl. Nobly gets his sword and see where he heads off next. Oh, though he hasn't done Saw's Closet yet. Synack gets the hammer. And continues on down to Zelda's cell.
So this is an interesting moment of divergence here. The fact that Nobly didn't do it makes me think there's not something, strictly speaking, required in here, but we might have something nice enough that Synack is considered it worth the time.
And indeed, we have a heart container in Zelda's cell. While Nobly gets the magic cape out of the dam.
Speaking of safeties, that's a really nice one to have. It'd be even nicer with half magic, but even without it, we'll take it. Alright, nicely done there by Nobly. Threw a bomb, but elected against using bomb strats for it. Hello, Moon Pearl.
And there's the Moon Pearl and the flute.
Alrighty, so Synack gonna go ahead and grab himself a little bit of money, a little bit of Moon Pearl, some arrows, use a heart, and the flute. Alrighty. So it looks as if Synack prefers the route of just go ahead and write down what rooms are required, and then just go ahead and grab all the chests in there, just in case you need other stuff.
Right.
The disadvantage, obviously, is that it does take a little longer, but the advantage is you're going to have a little less difficulty with bombs, rupees, and arrows should you have an issue. Because it's a little more like Rando in that you're picking up more of them.
Nobly activates the flute and just leaves Kakariko Village, heads straight to the eastern area. Probably gonna grab his Titan's Mitt. And that'll give both runners access to the Dark World.
Well, Nobly has Dark World access right now with that hammer.
Oh, you're right! I totally missed that. Yeah, they have a hammer.
It's alright. It'll be complete access this time, which is better than just having the hammer, especially if you prefer the Village of Outcasts portal entry.
Right.
Alright, so Synack not giving up on Kakariko fully. We are getting a drop into the well. Oh, that's a nice refill.
Oh, you're very nice.
That's a nice blue goo. Alright, so barring Zora here, Synack is going to be completely set on rupees for the rest of the seed.
Nobly heading up to Ice Rod Cave.
You know, I find it kind of amusing that both runners did the same repeated sword slash after using the flute. There's got to be something up inside Spectacle Rock for Synack here, because that is the only thing he currently has access to up here.
Right. Nobly gets Quake out of Ice Rod Cave.
which, as you can see by our tracker, that's going to be required for both of our crystals today.
And having grabbed the Titans Net... Well, wait, Okay, so Nobly went to Saha's closet, got Titans Net, and then flew back to the portal. If I'm not mistaken. While Synack grabs the hook shot.
And this is a favorite pastime here. We call it murder-dactyl dodging. Because in Green Mail, if you don't dodge successfully, you're dead. Actually, with 3 hearts, if you don't dodge everything successfully in the Dark World, you're just about toast. Alright, speaking of long journeys here, Nobly is heading up to Catfish. What in the world? Do we have stuff just in all 4 corners?
Everything's spread out as much as possible.
You'd think they would have at least given us the boots so we could run across Hyrule quickly.
That would have been nice. Synack going into Paradox Cave.
Okay, and Catfish is the keeper of the Red Cane.
Nice.
Yep, definitely going to be needed, as well as making Ice Palace not suck. Wow.
Oh, and Paradox Cave has the bow and the Master Sword and a shovel for good measure.
Can you dig it? Don't laugh, that's not funny. It's okay, at least I know when I make a bad joke and chat starts booing me, you'll be snickering on the other end of this. Alright, so while Nobly goes ahead and grabs that hook shot, Synack is heading towards the 2 items back here in Super Bunny Cave. Oh, hook shots were made for clipping, Synack. Come on now. Uh-oh. Nobly gonna want to be careful here. 1 heart.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Those mini Moldorms are vicious, man.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, speaking of vicious, here we go. Can we dodge the boulders and the dead rocks? Okay, we're good. Now let's just not die to a Tektite.
In Super Bunny Cave, Synack picked up the Tempered Sword and the Ether Medallion.
Yep, that Ether Medallion, not strictly speaking required, but it is nice for a couple rooms if you don't really feel like dealing with it. And nice half magic.
Heck yeah.
And 9 bombs that he absolutely did not need. Nice use of the Cane of Samaria there, a little quicker than dropping a bomb. Oh, and that shovel was useful because here we go to dig. Synack, you didn't need that bomb, you already had 10.
Oops, Nobly drops. But, oh, maybe that was on purpose. Oh, Flipper's on the dig spot. Nobly? What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think one attempt at the bomb jump was enough. All right, so I know these items come in fast and furious. So now that Nobly's just kind of following Synack's route a little bit, Synack is actually heading to Pod to hopefully clear a crystal. Let's kind of take a breather and take a moment to see what we're gonna need for go mode at this point. I'm seeing 2 rods. Gonna need that mirror. Definitely wouldn't say no to a lamp, but that's not strictly speaking necessary.
Right.
Synack is also going to need that cane of Samaria. We know where that is already.
Nobly opening up Turtle Rock.
I mean, you might as well. You know you're going to have to come back here. You can either open it now or open it later. Saves a little time to do it now.
Meanwhile, Synack is going into Pod.
We are heading into Turtle Rock with no rods.
Yeah, so I mean, either there's something in the compass chest or there's a key in the compass chest to get into the next room.
Yeah, but you can only go so far in here without the fire rod.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's a key.
And the fact that Synack didn't do it and didn't bother with it kind of makes me think that there's not something that's going to be absolutely required to beat the game in here right now, because this is going to be a double dip. And with 1.5 hearts, you really don't want to die here.
Yeah.
Did we get the double heal? We did not. Nice use of that cape, honestly. Pokies are terrifying. Okay.
The lamp.
I mean, honestly, that's not a bad item to grab, especially if you're not super confident in your dark rooms.
Right.
We have Pod, we have Meyer. So yeah, this is a low health situation most likely because we're looking at a spoiler log race here. So yeah, if you're not feeling super confident, you think you can get that lamp without dying like Nobly did, yeah, probably worth it.
Still a terrible spot for it. Who wants to dip into Turtle Rock this early?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Synack over in Pod here. Pod is actually one of the harder dungeons to route in a spoiler log tournament, especially if the big key is towards the back, or if there's something required towards the back, because those keys can sneak up on you. Like, the amount of keys that you need gets kind of weird to keep in mind, especially with a lot of the weird names. You do need to be familiar with what the map chest is, what the compass chest is, which one is the bridge chest, the arena chest. So it can get overwhelming. Alright, Synack picks up the invisible nothing. And a full heart to go with that.
Nobly choosing to use the Village of Outcast portal. So we've got massive divergence going on right now.
Oh yeah, it's insane. For those of you who are wondering what was on the chest on the right and haven't inferred it yet, it was the pod big key. I just went ahead and looked it up so I could be sure. Alright, and thankfully for Synack here, Pod did contain the fire rod, so we won't have to do a fire sourceless turtle run. Those are not fun. One of the super nice things that we usually will hope to see at some point in these spoiler log seeds is a piece of armor. Because low health means that that armor really is huge bang for your buck against most enemies here when you're sitting on 5 hearts or 6 hearts. We have not seen either of those from either of our runners yet, so I assume they're either out of the way or our runners just aren't too terribly worried about it for now.
For those asking in the chat, a spoiler log tournament basically means that when the seed is generated, when the race starts, they are given 15 minutes to study the spoiler log, which gives them a list of locations and the item at each location. They have to study that log for 15 minutes, figure out what they need, the best route to get there, and all of this in 15 minutes. There's 216 locations, so that's quite the log to go through. And then once the 15 minutes is up, the race begins, and that's where we come in and watch and see how well they planned this out.
Yep. For the sake of clarity, they do have access to the log the entire time, as Nobly nearly got murdered by a cricket there. Goes ahead and gets an ice rod for his troubles. So the spoiler log is up. They get to take a look at it at any point. It's just taking time and or focus away from their race when they do so. Very nice fight. Meanwhile, Nobly is sitting on 1 heart going into the bowels of Thieves Town. Thankfully, that tempered sword means that everything he hits will die, but it's still kind of scary.
And at about 21 minutes into the race, Synack has the first crystal.
Yep, Synack over here draws first blood, although Nobly should be just a couple minutes behind, barring something unfortunate here in Thieves Town.
Worth noting, Synack hasn't done catfish yet, and that would have been a good spot to do it. Though catfish is really obnoxious route in regardless.
Yeah, it's really not fun. It really isn't, especially not with boots. It's just way over there. And even for a spoiler log seed, if you know there's nothing in the Zora area, it just makes it worse. Alright, so with half magic here and the cape out, I think Nobly's gonna be okay, even if things do go a bit south here. Gotten off script, but pretty good at dodging, down to 2 hearts.
Yeah.
1 hit KO to the boss of the heads, cape
And
goes
there we
on,
go.
and blind goes down.
And with that, both runners are tied with 1 crystal apiece from different dungeons.
Yep, and Nobly is making moves away from Village of Outcasts. Gonna go ahead and grab those 20 rupees, only sitting on 93 now, so we need a little more if we want to get in the pod. Yep, so for those of you in chat who are wondering about the popularity of the spoiler logs, Ricky and I have it. Our wonderful tracker has it. I believe the restreamer gets it as well, and the 2 runners. We are currently looking at 6 people on planet Earth who know where those boots and the silvers are. But as no surprise to anyone, we're not telling.
Nobly entering Hype Cave. Which I don't Remember seeing Synack go in here?
Definitely did not. Ah, just money for Pod, I think.
And a bottle, which Synack got both of those things elsewhere. So
Yeah, I believe there was a blue goo somewhere. I couldn't. Oh, the well, right? The well had the blue goo?
yeah,
I
the
think
well.
so.
Yeah, that's right. So Nobly chose Hype Cave, and Synack chose the bottom of the well to get those two items.
Alrighty, so there's an ice rod for Synack, and Nobly is going to be taking the long trudge towards Pod. You know what would make it faster?
Boots.
The boots that we don't have. And it's funny because usually, at the very least, one of our runners every single race will make just an absolute gunshot for those boots. Like, I'm going to go get them right now. I don't care if they're in Mire on Vitreous and it's green pendant. I'm going to get them. But neither runner has, so it's got to be somewhere really out of the way. And that's a double burrito pickup for Nobly and Synack, both wanting a little snack here before the blind fight. Alrighty, so the first two parts of this fight going off pretty well. One more hit there, and very nicely done. You know, it always confused me when a boss dropped bombs. Like, there were just all those explosions, and you're telling me those didn't blow up? Did you just hand me 3 duds? Like, I'm just genuinely confused.
Synack gets his second crystal. Nobly continuing to make their way through Pod.
Yeah, Pod is terrible to route with no mirror and no boat. And no, just no.
Yeah. If the seed logic has you going through that arena area with those beetles, it done messed you up.
Yeah, and if the seed has you walking through them without little magical red boots, it really messed you up. So it looks like Synack is going to take the northern route over to Catfish, since we have passed Graveyard Leads. That's really the only thing that's over here. I would like to point out that the discrepancy between our two runners' timers is because Synack started his at the beginning of the spoiler log study period. So they are actually 28 minutes and change into the race, but they were given access to the spoiler log 43 minutes ago. That's why you see 2 different times.
And Synack gets his Cane of Samaria. And we'll see where he heads off to next.
Well, let's see. At this point, I think we're just sitting on that mirror for required, right? We got everything else, I think?
Yeah, I think that's right. Just need the mirror to be able to get into Swamp Palace.
Alright, so Synack taking a stop over at Ice Rod Cave. And there's the Quake Medallion we needed. So yep, just mirror for both of them at this point.
Oh, and it looks like Synack is going to be diving into Ice Palace with Green Mel and 7 hearts. And a blue potion.
I mean, at least we have the Tempered Sword. Alright, so let's say hello to Helmasaur with, I believe, a vanilla 6 hearts green mail. Although you don't normally have a sword that quite that color yet, so there's a little bit of an advantage. Alright, nicely done fight there. So that is going to be crystal number 2 for Nobly. And Synack not using Icebreaker, unfortunately, which would have saved a little more time, also a little early on that pop throw. Gets a double right there. Nice recovery.
So hey, we get to possibly see Icebreaker, not Icebreaker, the Ice Palace Bomb Jump. Don't know if we get to see that anymore.
Yeah, it's still a super nice trick and way beats not.
Oh, and very clean.
That was ridiculous. He just went boop, boop, and then jumped it. Like, that was very, very nicely done.
Oh, and Nobly's heading into Ice Palace now. Out of logic because he doesn't have the flippers yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Does have the shovel on hand, but you still need to go over there and dig. So as you can see by where our runners are comparatively, Synack does have a little bit of a lead, but as you've probably already guessed, with a really low health and low safety situation like these races are, anything can happen, and a couple of minutes can easily be swung in either direction. Woohoo, Bugnet!
Nobly's going to show us the Icebreaker strat.
Yeah, this glitch is relatively new. I believe not older than a couple months at this point.
Yeah,
And it basically means that you can forget that this bar works at all. If you can just get that clip right there, we go. Just hold down, and there we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
nice. Careful. Okay, good. Use the blue potion.
It was nearly knocked into those eyeballs. That would have been bad news.
Woo! Oh, wow. 1 heart left. Dang. And gets the mirror.
Yay! Go mode!
At about 33 minutes, 55 seconds.
Yep. So we have Swamp Palace, Mire, and then the 2 up the mountain. Alright, so we'll see where Synack decides to go first here.
And it looks like Synack is going straight into Swamp Palace. Gonna start this dungeon rush with the swamp.
Not a bad idea. This is another one that's really, really nice to be able to go mode. Synack giving us an example here of why sword beams are terrible. Meanwhile, Nobly making a nice counter argument, only using 4 shots of the fire rod to break open that shell. We can just start wailing on the puffballs with the fire rod instead. Nicely done. Alright, so one thing to keep in mind while the execution part gets a bit more heavy, as we're pretty much done with the routing at this point, is that this is sanctioned more like an NMG tournament, where if you've ever watched one of those, the runners are allowed to screen snipe each other and or watch the restream if they want to hear my terrible commentary. So Synack, if he so chooses, could watch and know that he is slightly ahead, where Nobly, if he's watching, could know that he's slightly behind. And you might see runners make decisions based upon last-minute safeties or choose to skip them, just determining on how they are as compared to the other runner, which is something you wouldn't necessarily see in a rando, because at that point the runners aren't certain of where they are versus their opponent. And at this point, the knowledge is available to them. And chat bringing up a really good point that I didn't initially consider. Synack has Dark Mire, and that blue goo has been burned, so that could get scary. Speaking of which, Nobly is going to go ahead and take use of that lamp and not have a dark room. Though, if we're being perfectly fair, Mire is terrifying on green male 6 hearts, regardless of what you have in your inventory. And once again, for those in chat who are asking, the discrepancy in the timers is because Synack started his when he started reading the spoiler log, and Nobly started his at the start of the race. So if you want official timing, they are actually almost 38 minutes into the race proper. It's just that Synack started counting when he got the spoiler log information.
Alright, Synack starts the Argus fight. Interesting, I just got back. Nobly went to Mire first.
Yep, I mean, with that lamp, it doesn't really matter. It's just more about preference at that point. And Nobly also does still have that blue goo to fall back on, I believe. Oh no, I'm not sure that he got that bottle out of the well.
I think the bottle he got was empty. He pulled an empty one out of Hype Cave.
That's correct. I just thought that he'd also grabbed the blue goo because, I mean, I would have. But these runners are better at this game than I am, so, you know, time saves and all that. Speaking of which, nice Argus fight is crystal number 4.
Alright then, Synack going into Meyer. He's gonna have to do the basement without the lamp, which I find frustrating as all heck.
Yeah, but he does now have blue mail on hand, so it's slightly less frustrating, hopefully.
Well, it's not the baddies or anything that frustrate me. It's trying to get that Kena Samaria block down with those darn statues shooting fireballs all the time.
So honestly, life hack. This is how someone who's really bad at this at this room in the dark does it. As we see a really nice
Dang.
spooky action from Nobly there.
Yeah, that was really nice.
This is how I generally do it. Just if you hate that room as much as I do, I will pull the block, like pull the pot, step on the switch just so I know where it is, and then move down more than I need to, drop the Samaria block, and then if I have an invulnerability item, just go ahead and hit it, and then you can just push that block up until you hear it click, and you can go through the door.
Smart, smart.
It's not nearly as fast as the other setups I've seen, but I have trouble with those setups.
Yeah, same.
And I get that one every time, and it's clean, and I don't take a bunch of damage or get tilted. It's the only way I know how to do it consistently.
Nobly using cape and sword slashes. Every time the sword hits a baddie, the magic meter forgets to drop, so it's a good way to save magic, makes Vitreous really easy.
It does, and that is not even the most overpowered glitch involving the cape, if you can believe it. All you have to do is, if you activate the cape and then just hold on to a wall, as Vitreous gives us a nice stick of butter, you just hold on to a wall and the magic meter doesn't do anything. So if you ever have to wait something out, just grab a wall. You can just stand there indefinitely.
Nobly now headed to Swamp Palace, while Synack gets his big key out of the Meyer lobby. Gonna go face Vitreous. And while both runners are doing things the other has already done, now's a good time to remind everyone to by all means follow the runners. They're putting on a great race for us. And if you want, you could follow the commentators and thank our tracker, Cool Papa Bell 2282, for doing a great job keeping the buttons clicked.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you guys have never done tracking, it's hard. And if you've never done tracking for a spoiler race, it's basically tracking on expert because, well, the items are everywhere. Alright, so Dark Room commence. Good luck, my friend. This part is terrifying.
And there we go. This is why I hate this room. This is why I hate this room.
I can hear the frustration in your voice. Goodness, I'm sorry. This room has done you dirty, my friend.
Oh, it has. And there goes the cape. Oh. See, that right there. That right there. I feel his pain so much.
Deep breath. It's okay. We can get through this together.
Because that's the thing. I think I know there's certain shooters in this game that shoot when you have the sword out, and I feel like the ones in that room, even though they're not programmed that way, I think they seem to shoot more than any of the other rooms do. But yeah, that's definitely where Nobly dipping in the TR early to get the lamp might actually pay off. Because if he's like me and just is not confident or just does not want to deal with Meyer's dark rooms, that's a massive time save, even if it requires a trip into TR.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure that it is a time save, because I'm fairly certain that Nobly spent less time dealing with that dip of Turtle Rock than Synack has right now, going going back through mire. So it's kind of a gamble you make, not only with
Yeah.
yourself in knowing whether or not you would most likely die, but in your opponent in thinking, okay, is this something they're going to do? And if not, do I think I'll be able to beat them? Because it's not a loss if your opponent does it, or if your opponent doesn't do it and then pays for it. So
Right.
meanwhile, we are
doing
seeing. Go ahead.
Nobly doing a different version of the diver down that I'm not familiar with.
So this is the one I see. It looks okay, but you do have to buffer down 1 frame. And I don't think he's quite buffering down the 1 frame. You want to push it even with that and then buffer down 1 frame. And then you want to hold up and left to straight left and sword out. Yeah, I think the buffer is what's incorrect there. I think he's buffering down more than 1 frame. There we go.
Oh, but it looks like on second attempt, Synack did get through that broom and mire, so he's through.
Yep, meanwhile, Nobly had a nice second attempt at the diver down there, so both tricks working out for our runners. And then this part of the mire dark room is much more simple. Alright, so we are just about going to have some twin boss fights here. Nobly making up the vast majority of the time right there in the difference between his mire and Synack's.
Yeah.
And actually, if this goes well, Nobly might be... Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm not going to say anything for getting
Yeah,
down to 1 heart.
Nobly pulling out the cape to make sure Argus doesn't one-shot him here. Synack also pulling out the cape for Ritrius.
I mean, I don't blame either of them.
Not at all.
Argus has been known to snipe. You don't ever want to line up north of Argus, because he'll hit you on the way down somehow.
Yeah, because this game doesn't understand, what is it, the Z-axis at all.
Yep, there's no height. There's only in your face and death.
And with that, both runners get their crystal number 6. Nobly's a few seconds ahead of Synack, but they're both on their way to Death Mountain to return to Turtle Rock.
Crystal number 5, my friend. Don't forget, we still do have to take out Hera.
Oh, Hera. Oh, right. Right, okay.
Oh, you're good.
I can count.
It's super ideal routing we don't get to do in most randos, but here we go. Nobly picking up a blue goo, which is super nice and could very well come in handy here. And they are pretty much even at this point because Nobly's going to save a couple seconds in TR per already having gone and grabbed that first key.
Interesting route divergence, though. Nobly's going straight up the west side of Death Mountain, while Synack is going up the east side.
Yeah, they could very well be doing different dungeons here first. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nobly take out Hera and then stroll over to TR. Whereas Synack is likely to take out TR first, since he's right here, and then stroll over to Hera.
Alright, yeah, so Nobly's just choosing to do Tower Hera first.
Yep, and with those bombs out, it looks like we might have another cool little setup that we learned recently. Hera pot! Having to use the bomb setup here because at almost 50 minutes in, we still don't have the boots.
Right. And you can guarantee if they were in Tower of Hera, they would have gone to Tower of Hera.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. At this point, we're looking at something that's just so far out of the way that we're just not going to see, like behind a fetch quest that's somewhere terrible or something of that nature. We could just see them in GT, because there's a decent chance that our green pendant here isn't boots locked, and even if it was, we wouldn't need it before GT, so that is a possibility. It could also be deeper here in TR, or just in a pendant we didn't need to dip.
Nobly takes down Trolldorm with that butter sword. Lickety split. Trolldorm can't do his wily ways today.
Yeah, so that is a really fast 6 crystal, and then Nobly is going to be right on Synack's tail here into Hera, or into TR. I can identify dungeons, I swear. Nice getting through those dead rocks. That's it. Like, whose idea was it? Okay, so here's the boardroom meeting. Ready? Alright, so we need an enemy for Death Mountain. Okay, so what are your thoughts? How about an enemy that you can't kill? Okay, that's an interesting thought. That's not something we normally do. Tell me more about it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. They run around in cardinal directions for a random generated amount of time. Usually just enough to heck you over, okay? And then you can't kill them unless you have the Quake Medallion, which you don't get until pretty late in the game. So it's guaranteed that your first climb up this mountain is going to be hell, all right? Now, here's what happens when you hit them. They freeze. Well, that's not too bad. You can walk by them, right? Haha! No. Okay. Can you hookshot by them? No. Oh, okay. So you're just stuck. Yep. Alright. Oh, and I've got another idea. I'm going to put 2 of them in this tiny diagonal section. Did I mention they only move in cardinal directions? I'm sorry. I'm not salty at all.
Synack barely getting through those chomps, but pulls it off.
Speaking of terrible enemies, let's add another one that you can't kill. By any means, I'm fairly certain. I don't think those suckers
And
can
from
be
the
killed
wrong
by
franchise, for that matter.
Well, so are the Pokies that are bouncing around, and they do 12 hearts of damage, too.
This is true.
There's a reason that Mario's always one-hit KO. Oh!
The ricochet.
I told you, man, those Pokies are bad news. Alright, so Nobly is officially in the lead here, and Synack has some very happy slashes to get out. You know, of all the ways to die in Turtle Rock, that's probably one of the worst. Because, like, you smoked a Pokey, and then you took a frickin' Pokeball right to the face, just like Nobly did. What was that, 4 hearts? Gone.
Yeah.
You're never seeing those again. That's terrifying.
Absolutely painful.
And, like, now, I don't know too terribly much about enemy physics, but it seems to be relatively random to me on whether or not you get the ricochet.
I don't know if it's random or if it more has to do with the hitbox of whatever weapon you're using. Like, if the ricochet gets caught in the blast of the fire rod, it'll die in the first shot. But if it manages to miss the damage attack, then it'll start bouncing. That seems to be how it works to me.
Sure, but then there's no way to guaranteed avoid that.
Yeah.
Like, because Synack and Nobly in both of those instances, shot downwards at the Pokey. And in Nobly's situation, it just barely got caught by the fire rod last second. And in Synack's situation, it did not.
Right.
And that's what's terrifying. It's not that, like, I understand the physics of it, but in terms of knowing or having an idea of, like, if I shoot this shot, I need to sidestep, there's just no way to know. Synack is really low on bombs. Thankfully, that is the last one we need. bootsless laser skips.
And there's the boots on Laser Bridge.
I have no words. Do you have words?
Nope.
So there's a problem with that, because that's our stinking job right now, is to have words. Nice last-minute hook shot there. And yep, gonna go ahead and get a refill on magic and a couple of hearts. Unfortunately, went 0 for 2 in the double heal. So for a hookshot grab of a heart, there's a 1 in 4 chance that it will be double effective and you'll get 2 hearts. It's based upon a frame rule. Synack, unfortunately, was 0 for 2 there. Alright, and with Butter Sword, it's just 3 smacks for each head here. Oof, that last one was close to taking a bite. We are good there. Now we're on to phase 3.
And Trinix goes down on Nobly's side. Synack making his way to his Trinix fight. But
Nice
this
300
means...
rupees.
Oh, there's rupees. Thanks.
All
But
right,
this
so
means Nobly is
go
going to head straight to Ganon's tower, while Synack still needs to do Tower Hera.
Yep, and speaking of which, we have a nice little game we have to play. Now, okay, now hold on. Don't start picking numbers yet. We don't do numbers because it's spoiler log. Go ahead and give me a room. And if the room has more than 1 chest, then give me the chest in that room. Since we are going to be skipping a boatload of chests, our runners are not going to be picking up more than 4, maybe 5 chests along the way. And that's if the key is somewhere terrible. So, Ricky, I know you did last night. Did you take a look at that big key location today?
No, I did not.
Alrighty, let's hear the guess.
Okay, let's... Okay, what location it is?
Yep.
I'm gonna say Compass Room.
Compass room. Okay, give me a chest in compass room.
Bottom right.
Bottom right. Alright, I'm going to say top left in compass room just to be silly. Alright, and that is Synack's 7th crystal. He is going to be following Nobly into GT.
No, he needs to Tower Hera.
Oh, right, Hera. Good call. Good call. You just said it, but, you know, I've got a short attention span. That's why I don't track.
Nobly doing the right side of GT. Getting trolled by the Gibdos, but oh, and kicks the Mario block. That looks so cool.
That's a 40-yard punt that resulted in a fair catch. Dang it! Why was it the one between ours? Come on!
Of course it was.
Well, if you guys wanted proof that we don't actually look at the spoiler log for the GT Big Key, there you friggin' have it, because I would have at least gotten that right.
Nobly takes a death. I presume that was intentional just to get the heart refill.
I mean, it refilled to 4, so it
Well,
didn't do
better
much,
than
but yeah,
1.
that's fair. I love these spoiler log races. There's just so little health. Let me rephrase. I love commentating these spoiler log races. You couldn't pay me to do one. And if you managed to, by the end of it, I'd still have 12 hearts. You'd be like, how did he get 12 hearts? He just picked up everything. But he has a spoiler log yet, no. Nice clip! Holy cow, I didn't even see that until the... Is he gonna do it for the other one, too? You've got 29 arrows. You don't need to do this, man.
Oh. He may not need to do it, but, you know, this being a spoiler log race, both runners can see each other's streams. Nobly probably is just doing swag because he knows he has some time.
And for those of you who are wondering, if you clip the mimics in that first room, the beamoses don't really see you in the second room. So that's why Nobly's work was not interrupted by beams of fire. Yeah, that was a good call there. Those spikes do damage.
Yeah. Probably gonna take a pit stop right here. Get a refill.
A pit stop? Really?
I'm not the first one to call it that. I've heard it called that plenty of times.
I know, but you said it right as he was falling into the pit, and I was just like, come on, man. Alright, with Fire Rod and half magic here, Nobly is just going to watch the world burn. So if you get a Gibdo stuck in that block, is it a Clipto? Oh, that was bad. Forget it. I take that one back. That one sounded better in my head. Nicely done there. Quick 2-cycle.
Interesting divergence a bit in terms of key logic. Nobly went and got the second key further down on right side, while Synack is just taking one key and is going to grab one off the mini Helmsar at the top of Gauntlet.
Yeah, that is assuming there isn't a key up there, which there may or may not be. I don't generally look at any of GT if I don't have to, because I like being able to guess where the big key is.
Yeah, but generally, if you have one key going to Gauntlet, you don't need to look at the chest at all. Just kill the Helmsar thing and move on from there.
I really hate killing them, so I'll just grab one out of the chest if I had a choice.
Synack using that butt-catching net to get a fairy in a bottle. Very nice.
Yep, making use of the tools he has at his disposal. Oh, this is going to be interesting. There we go. That is plan B for the torch room.
And with that, Nobly is through most of the Gauntlet, just has Moldorm 2 and Aga 2 to take care of.
Yep, and then a Ganon where he will be in Hug one-hit KO. Because, yep, Ganon does 6 hearts blue now.
Oh, Silvers, yeah, we can go and tell you. Silvers were in Bonk Rocks.
That is correct.
Which, I mean, it's right outside Sanctuary. It wouldn't have taken that long to grab them.
The boots were in TR, though, so you would have had to
Oh, that's
climb
right. They were
up
already up on the mountain by then. Who wants to go all the way back down? Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Ignore me.
And Red Mail was over on the left-hand side of GT, so we weren't going to see that today with the big key sitting on the right-hand side. Alright, Synack down to 2 hearts. Hopefully that fairy won't come into play, but we got it just in case. Man, what about these patterns? There we go. Speak of a good pattern and it shall appear. Thank you for the triple. That's a commentator's blessing right there. I'm taking credit for that. We get yelled at when we do commentator's curse. I want it known that I asked for a nice pattern from Aga, and I darn well received one.
Oh wow, I looked away for a moment and nobly killed Aga2 already. Heck.
Alrighty, so say hello to the piggy.
We got Silverless Butter Sword. But only 5 hearts. Make that 2 hearts. But he makes it through phase 2.
Yeah, at this point, if anything touches you, you're dead, so let's be careful. But as you said, we're through the hard part, so... Did you find the arrows in the light world? Sounds so friendly, light world. Thinking maybe it's a Kakariko? No, bonk rocks. That's not bad. Where were the boots? Laser bridge. Never mind.
Yep.
Alright, so I do believe that was the first spin. We're gonna need 12 for the entire fight. Nobly probably got sick and tired of hearing that beeping there. Nice double there by Synack. I think that third one was a little too far away on Nobly's side to count. That was almost a really nice triple there. Alright, Synack gonna be dropping into the fight in just a moment here.
And there it is. Nobly takes down Ganon.
And now we just have a 1x3 bridge that we have to conquer. Once he is done so, go ahead and get your GGs in chat. And we finish with a Ganon high five.
With an official time, including the study time, of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 3 seconds. Nobly completes the race first.
Alright, there we go. So Nobly's time being perfectly on there. 107.03 for execution. And for a Bootsa seed, that is really not bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with your 3 pendants being 3 of the debatably shortest dungeons to run through. Desert, Eastern, and Skull Woods. Like, come on. And we are joined in the booth by Nobly. If you want to give us just a moment, Synack is finishing up the fight, and then we'll talk to you both at the same time, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
GG, though. Very well, nicely done.
Interesting scene.
That's one word for it. Nice triple there by Synack. We're up to 4 spins, I believe, but I've been known to count incorrectly before. Well, that was a nice little dodge there. Should just have a couple more. Or maybe one more, honestly. Never mind. And there we go. Synack just has to conquer the 1x3 bridge, and he will be able to complete the seed as well.
And with that, Synack has an official time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 21 seconds. GG's to both the runners.
Yep, difference there was basically just a silverless Ganon fight, so fairly close overall. Alrighty, and I believe that Synack is going to be joining us here in just a moment. I saw him in the setup room, and he disappeared. Alright, anyways, nobly. GG. That seed was a bit all over the place, wasn't it?
Well, for one thing, the boots is not going to be picked up before go mode, at least.
Yeah, we saw the bow on Bonk Rocks. We're like, oh, that's nice. And then you go look for the boots, and they're on Laser Bridge, and it's like, oh, significantly less nice.
Totally less nice. I would definitely love to run around this scene.
Hello, Synack. Thank you for joining us. We are joined in the booth by Synack. GG, my friend.
Hey.
That seed was fun, wasn't it?
It was actually, so the route was actually, at least for me, it felt pretty straightforward. I just died a couple times needlessly because I'm an idiot.
Well, the bio room, like, I'm watching commentary and just, like, I'm feeling your pain, because that happens to me in that room so bloody often, like, I feel, that hurt.
I mean, yeah, so my mistake is that so if I wouldn't have taken as much damage going into that room, so for one, I screwed up. I was going to go buy a bottle, or I was going to go buy a blue potion before going into Mire.
Right.
And I decided against that. I was not looking at my opponent at all. I tried doing that last week, and that just caused me to go off the rails. So I think I was a bit more composed this race.
Yeah, I never watched my opponent play until, like, GT.
Yeah. And
So-
actually, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Oh, I didn't even know that Nobly finished because apparently, like, the live split race time thing. So out of curiosity, I clicked like the hide results checkbox, and then I unchecked it. Like, what it's supposed to do is supposed to like hide the results from you until you finished, or whatever. It's kind of a cool feature in the live split integration there. But I turned it off, but it still hid the results for me. So
whoops.
I didn't even know that. I mean, I thought I was doing just hot, and then I got done like, oh wait, did I get streamed? Did I get like sniped or something? Like, oh no, I just lost horribly.
It wasn't that horribly, though.
No, it's only 2 minutes. Nobly, so we were wondering, you did the mimic clip in GT. Did you do that because just out of like swag, or because you saw Synack was a little behind, or what was your reasoning behind that? Because it looked really cool. Just time consuming.
Well, it's not that time consuming when you don't have silvers.
Not when you do it that well, but
Yeah, I mean, if I try to do it, it'd be time consuming.
I think so I think clipping Mimics 1, even with just like normal bow, is still faster if you can execute it well. Mimics 2, I think you still want to use the bow for speed wise.
Want to hear a thing I was thinking about when I flew to Pod?
Were you no.
I thought about mimic clipping there to get the fire rod, to go to Thieves Town and get the boots early.
I mean, that would have been kind of fun. That would have been a crazy route divergence.
Yeah, but I was like, it's not gonna be that worth it. So
no, not for the
I decided to just pick up the lamp.
Double dips. At that point, you might as well just go grab the ice rod and then complete TR while you're up there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Doing Thieves Town after Pod.
Okay.
And then go straight up the mountain and do Turtle Rock and just finish it in one go.
That would have been a really, really interesting comparison. I swear, on some of these races, what I want to do is I want to just like sit here and look at the spoiler log and be like, okay, so you try this, and you try this, and we'll see which one's better. Because that's the fun part. We can sit here, and even after having completed the race, you can sit here and go back and forth about what you think was faster, and we're still not sure.
I mean, the boots don't speed up that much as long as you just do dungeons. I mean, it speeds up moving around the oval, but not that much either.
I mean that's fair, but with the silver sitting in bonk rocks, you could have grabbed those whenever, and then that would have made your Vitreous fight faster and your Ganon fight faster. So that's probably a minute and change saved.
I don't think it was worth it, especially since so for Vitreous, cape was fairly accessible, so you could just do like cape slash stuff to get rid of all the eyeballs. There was really nothing problematic there. And then going out of taking like another trip up the mountain just to go to Thieves Town and have to like go back and do a bunch of other stuff, that's not worth it. Or not Thieves Town, but Turtle Rock, excuse me.
Yeah, technically you could have basically just went to Pod after picking up your Glove Hammer and Moon Pearl, finished Pod, picked up your Ice Rod, picked up your Cane and Mimic Clipped or Bottle Glitched or anything to have your Fire Rod, and go up the mountain one swoop and just finish everything.
Yeah, so it would have only been a double dip of Pod, basically, because you had to go up the mountain twice anyways.
Yeah.
So, if I would have known I was behind, or if I was going to lose, one thing I've been wanting to do so far is go rescue the Smith, or grab the Smith and then fight Ganon. So I didn't get to do that today because, like, yeah. So
yeah, I was
expect that at least once out of me during this tournament while I'm losing. I also thought. So go ahead.
I was thinking about picking up the Smith and picking up the Silver just for memes, but then I was like, it's gonna be too close anyway. I better just finished.
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes, I probably wouldn't risk that. I will say though, like, if somebody, so in the second half of Swiss, if someone picks up the Smith and fights Ganon and wins, I've got a month of Discord Nitro for it. I'm putting that bounty out right now, and I'll post it in the Discord. A month of Discord Nitro. If you can win the race with the Smith at Ganon.
Oh, you have to win the race. You are insane, my
You have to win.
friend.
Yeah, you have to win.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not going to do it when you're going to lose. Like that's not as fun.
Is it just for the first person who does it? I'm trying to get these details out now.
First person.
I was like,
a month of Discord Nitro.
Could you not have said that pre-race? Because I have a race next week only. Damn it!
I know. I just thought of this as like I was like having this conversation here. I'm like, no, this would be a fun bounty. So yeah, a month of Discord Nitro, and I'll post it in the Discord there. So people doing them before. I've had bounties before where I've given out Nitro, so I'm good for it. So.
All right, well, you heard it here first, guys. If you're in here and you've got a race coming up this week, you better make sure you win and have about 2 minutes to spare to go ahead and pick up that Smith.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, it has to be on Restream too. I want it. It has to be on Restream.
You better have that mirror and flute at least.
All right, so I'm now going to be commenting every single race for this second week, just so I can make sure to comment when that happens.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And actually, you know what? Every week we'll do that. No. Nah, we'll just stick for this for now. We'll see how this works out. So I'll go ahead and post that in the Discord right now. But you heard it here first. Sorry, Nobly. It's Nobly, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I could have told you that in advance. That would have been a fun meme move against me, but.
All right. So I guess we're gonna call this the Shenaniganon bounty.
I would
Shenaniganon bounty. All right. I'm down. All right.
Yes.
That's a great name. The Shenaniganon bounty. I want to see it, but you have to win. You got to win. If you lose because of it, doesn't count.
All right, so I'm going to try and get this train back on the rails.
Yep.
overall, neither of you guys thought the seed was too bad. The execution, honestly, was pretty good. You guys weren't given really a whole lot. That blue mail was there, but it was there a little bit later. And there weren't a whole lot of hearts around anywhere, so you guys didn't exactly have the kindest seed. The cape did come in clutch a couple times for both of you guys, but I didn't see powder or anything else. So you guys did pretty well overall. How are you guys feeling about the tournament so far?
I'm feeling pretty happy. I was routing this as 3 hearts, by the way. But then I was like...
You're mad, man.
I was looking at the dungeons, looking for key layout, and I was like, oh, I'm passing this heart piece, and my teammate's gonna scream at me if I lose and don't pick this up, so I better pick it up then.
They wouldn't have been the only one. I mean, honestly, if you'd rolled 3 hearts and then, like, died in mire, I'd have just been like, why, man? Why? Like, they are around. You could have picked them up somewhere.
Yeah, usually if I pass stuff, I pick it up, but I'm not going out of my way, so...
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I think I saw, like, 2 heart containers on the way, so I picked them up. And the reason why I routed Hera first is because I didn't want to mirror away. And I didn't want to go through Mini Moldorm Cave all the way.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So I do have a question, though. So you grabbed a bottle out of Hype Cave, but it was empty. Did you think you needed Sick Kid, or did you just kind of mix that up on your tracker?
No, I was thinking about Silverless Ganon.
Gotcha, okay, because there was a blue goo in the well, and that's what Synack grabbed, so that's what we thought you were going to grab, but then you skipped that, so the bottle in Hype Cave really confused both of us.
Here's another thing.
Well had all my bombs I needed, and it also had 300 in the back, so I figure I just grab that, and that's all the money I'll need.
I was struggling with pod cash.
Yeah, that's why I went there, just to actually do exactly that.
Yeah, the thing is, I basically was struggling with pod cash, and I didn't route any cash in the route, so I was like, okay. I was on my way to Turtle Rock, I was like, okay, pod's my next play, where the heck is cash? And then I was like looking at the, okay, Hookshot Cave's next there, what's in there? Oh, half magic! Wait, I didn't route that in either.
Oh, yeah. I grabbed half magic when it was available, so I grabbed both gloves before going up the mountain the first time. Just so I could grab... So I had Tempered Sword for most of the seed until Misery Mire, where it got upgraded.
Yeah, same.
Maybe you did the same? Alright. I'll have to watch this one back, because I... Yes, sir, go ahead.
I even routed in Lamp, because it was right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, like, yeah, you're gonna grab that lamp.
No. He routed it in like the first trip up without the Fire Rod or Ice Rod. He grabbed the Cane of Samaria super early, jumped into Chain Chomp's room, grabbed the lamp, and then dipped out. So he did Mire with the lamp and Pod with the lamp. He didn't have any dark rooms today.
Dude, I should have done that. But of course, then like that would have cost me time if I would have gotten if I would have died in the Mire basement, I think that I could have probably saved time over. Like yes, I think those 2 deaths I took, like the one in TR and then the one in Mire basement, I think was what really sunk me. This would have been probably a really close race if I hadn't eaten it.
The Mire basement pretty much solely was the vast majority of the time difference, because you had what seemed like a decent lead at that point. I mean, it was difficult to tell because you guys did completely and totally different things, as you're now hearing from what we're telling you. But it looked like you had the advantage. And then we were just talking about, Nobly did grab that lamp, so this is going to make up time almost definitely. But if Synack can get through it, then we're okay. And then a couple minutes later, you died. It was like, okay, well, now that lamp grab was definitely worth it.
Also, I got to do fairly easy spooky in Mire as well, so...
Yes, that saved additional time on top of it.
Although I don't know how my torch on the end there didn't flip, so...
Yeah, that was kind of weird. You got, like, no response out of the torch, and then you got bunnied, too. So it was just an odd sort of combination there.
Yeah. Even though I think it saved time. But yeah, as I said, I was thinking about picking up my Ice Rod and Red Cane and Fire Rod just to have the boots, but... it would have been funny to do that. But I was like, I need a win after my close race against Zelda, so
So
kind of to stay safe.
like you asked about people's thoughts about the tournament, but like you never really asked me. Like I never got to answer the question about what I thought about the guy who co-created this tournament and how awesome he is.
I mean, see, I figured that you'd just be completely and totally biased, so I was just saving us from having to hear it. But yeah, go ahead, Synack. What do you think about the guy who co-created the tournament?
He likes to die a lot.
I mean, welcome to Randomizer.
Oh, that sounds like something I like because I play one-hit KO.
Oh, you are insane!
No, Oko is actually no. You need to play the
don't
Pog.
lie
You
to
need to play. So you need to play the Pog Champion Oko mystery weight set. That is
really?
Lies and deceit.
It's timed
It will
Oko.
kill you.
It's basically customizer timed Oko. It is insane.
You have to send me the thing.
Yeah, it's just Pog Champion _ Oko for the weight set.
I've been missing Oko because you have to customize and stuff, and I do not like tech stuff. So
yeah, Ferrari came up with the weights. So
if that's a reason not to play it.
Yeah, so
right.
like the Pog Champion tournament has like everything. This is like a subset of just the timed Oko settings. But anyway, go ahead.
All right, so I did have a routing question for you, Synack. Especially early on with like the larger groupings, you seem to just grab every chest. Was that something that you did intentionally, or were you just kind of like, oh, there's 2 things I need in Mini Moldorm Cave, I'll just grab all of them?
Yeah, I was just grabbing it all because like I had actually got like a skeleton of a route without very many safeties. Like I think I routed it. Like, I think I knew where all the hearts were at, all the heart containers, but I didn't know where like pretty much anything else was at the time. So I was like, no, I'll see if I can pick up some incidental stuff along the way. Like basically, since there was 2 items there, I was like, no, I just grab it all. Like don't even think about any of it.
That's fair. The one reason I ask is because you walked into Hookshot Cave with 10 bombs.
Yeah, and I left with 10 bombs.
And you grabbed 9 more bombs.
Maybe
I don't remember which one it was. Like I was just after that half magic. That's what I cared about.
Maybe he thought he was visiting the friendly fairy that upgrades your bomb capacity. Who knows?
Hey, that's fair. Maybe he just thought it was an earlier version where we still have the capacity upgrades in the packs.
Yeah, no, those can stay in the past. Except if you play the classic preset. All right. Yeah, that's it for I think me. I've pretty much stated my opinion of what I thought here. So, yeah, I'm good.
All right, Nobly, did you have anything you wanted to add, having gotten your first victory? I don't believe you played in the previous year, if I can remember correctly. So,
I did not play in the previous years, so...
Awesome. So GG's on your first spoiler tourney win. May there be 5 more for this Swiss race.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope for routing where hearts and stuff is out of the way. So people have to go out of their way to be comfortable, because I am completely fine with 3 hearts. So.
I mean, that makes sense. If you're used to Oko, then you want a seed that's going to give you a couple safeties, but very little in the way of health, because that's what you're used to routing.
Yeah, I even, in my race against Zelda, I even picked up less hearts than he did, so I was pretty happy with that, and lost with a couple of minutes only. Took 1 bad death on the way to picking up 1 important item early, because of freaking Ganon poop on the Death Mountain.
Oof. Ganon poop. I don't think I've ever heard it called that.
Well, they are big clumps coming down at you, so... Who knows?
Oh goodness. Synack, am I allowed to use that? Can I use that on stream?
Use what? I'm sorry.
Can I call the cabbages Ganon poop?
You'll have to take that up with SpeedGaming.
Alright, gotcha. I'll ask Rick.
I mean, after all, it's just a spoiler is the most funny thing, and routing is one of the more tough things in spoilers. It's like, do I want this item first or do I want this item first? Also, I hope for scenes where bows are really ugly.
Well, yeah, we could tell that by your mimic clips.
Oh, okay. So we've got a few minutes before the channel it gets taken for a Zelda 1 randomizer. So we should go ahead and start wrapping up. Any final words from the racers for this race?
Good luck in round 3. Thanks for just making me get this out of the way right now, Nobly. Like, because now I can just focus the rest of the week on doing other things. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I have a really busy schedule with the GMP tournament, the OOT tournament, the cross keys tournament, the spoiler key tournament.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on.
Plus, I'm building a house, having a son over, and stuff is happening. So,
Heck yeah!
Goodness gracious.
Congrats.
Well, you keep working on juggling all that stuff. And congrats on your win.
yeah, thank
Alright,
you
so
for
I
commentating and restreaming and everything. It was very great to put it together in such short notice.
Hey, well, you guys do the hard part. You sit around, play, and try not to die. I just sit here and talk about it. So, thanks for putting on a show for us.
Can I plug one more thing before we go?
Sure.
Fire away.
All right, so I'm pretty sure people have been hitting exclamation point spoiler. That has a link to the spoiler tournament Discord. We're always looking for voices. If you know a thing or two about ALTTPR, and you're willing to either give commentary a shot, or we're looking for people. So there's a form on the Discord to sign up. You can always use trackers as well. So far, our trackers have been really awesome. Who was tracking our race, by the way?
Cool Papa Bell.
Cool Papa Bell. That's right, because I pushed the approve button on it. I should have known that.
Come on now, man.
Cool. Yeah. So people like Cool Papa Bell that do our tracking, unsung heroes, like they're great, and it's a pretty simple job to do. You just have to pay attention, which is better than what I can do.
We're back.
So, yeah, like if you want to volunteer or just follow along, just lurk, hit up our Discord, join us there. We're all friendly people. We don't bite a whole lot except when we do. So that's it. That's my plug there.
Cool. And as you guys can tell, since this is, I believe, my 5th or 6th comm for this tournament, they set the bar low for commentary requirements. So you could jump right on in. Anyways, with that being said, Ricky, if you can stop snickering for a minute, if you want
I had to mute myself this entire interview because I kept laughing at you guys. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to follow the runners. I put the links in the chat. We got Synack and Nobly the Foreign. Thank you so much, Cool Papa Bell 2282 for tracking. Did a fantastic job. Thank you, Hammer, for co-commenting with me again. It's always a great time with you. And with that, if you want to watch Zelda 1 Randomizer, that's coming up next in about 10 minutes on this channel. If you want more spoiler log tournament goodness, I've got the schedule in the chat as well. There's nothing else tonight, but tomorrow and the rest of the week, we've got plenty of more matches that are scheduled and just need to find home on the SpeedGaming Network. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you had a great time and have a great day. Bye.
Goodbye.